Welcome back to the Cream of the Crop 4th and 31 podcast, your one-stop shop for all things college and SEC football. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, and hit that bell so you never miss a minute. I'm your host, part of the Killer Bees broadcasting team, the Chad Bullock. Tonight we got all four again. We got Brant Feinbaum, we got the producer Scott, and we got the man, the myth, the legend, and the coach Bo and Mob. We're down to the final four. We got the Fiesta and Peach coming up. We're going to preview both of those games. We're going to get a little bit into the portal. Well, actually, we're going to get a lot bit into the portal since we only have two games this week. And Bo has a surprising Division Two rant. I don't even know what it is. He won't even tell us. I mean, he won't even tell us what it is. So we're all going to find out.
Surprise, gentlemen. Total surprise.
All right, we'll save that for last. We'll save the best for last. All right, let's get into these two Final Four games. Let's start chronologically, as I like to do. Let's start with the Fiesta Bowl, Ole Miss and Miami. Producer, what you got?
Wow, my favorite game of the two, by the way, because I don't know who's going to win this game. Like, if you're making me pick, right? If you're making me pick, I'm taking Ole Miss. But I in no way think that Ole Miss just comes out and mops the floor with Miami, right? Miami could certainly just as easily walk away with this win. Again, I'm going to say this for the umpteenth time. Carson Beck has so far shut everybody up. Carson Beck has done everything he needs to do to win games. He's playing that game manager role, but he's throwing his body out there. I know everybody talked about it the other day. Like, he's doing everything he has to do to give Miami a chance to win games. He's doing everything he's asked to do, and he's doing it well. And and I have to go on about Miami's defense. I mean, good grief, these guys are elite. They got some elite pass rushers. They're going to give Ole Miss hell. Chambliss is undoubtedly why I'm picking them if I have to pick, because I do think he is the best player on the field. I do. I'm really excited about this game. I'm not gonna blink. This game is gonna be so much fun to watch. Either one could win, but if you're making me pick one, I'm taking Ole Miss again. But that's my SEC homerism coming out in me. But man, do I love Miami in this game. I really do. I will not be mad at all if they win. This is going to be a really, really, really great football game.
All right, Feinbaum, what you got?
So I'm I was a little indifferent for a while. But I just, this is my thing, and no hate. Once again, I agree, Scott. No hate to Miami at all. If Miami wins, I'll be perfectly fine with that. It does not bother me at all. The way they control the line of scrimmage will be the difference in the game. I believe that. But also, I believe that Trinidad Chambliss is the best player on the field, and I don't think anybody can stop him. You can maybe delay him, but you can't stop him completely. And I think it's only a matter of time before he takes off. The reason also I'm kind of picking Ole Miss, I feel like we've seen Carson Beck over the years be so inconsistent, and we've seen him have those moments where he looks so vulnerable. And I feel like a change of scenery in Miami is exactly what he needed. But I mean, even those two games they lost this year, they shouldn't have lost. I mean, he had those moments, those Carson Beck moments where he just plays down and the other team gets the better of him. I've been kind of waiting for that to happen in the playoffs. And when they went to College Station, I surely figured it was going to come out. Texas A&M was gonna mop the floor with them, and they just did it. And I was said, well, they'll definitely get them the next week, and then they won again. And I said, okay, maybe Miami has finally put it all together. But it's just something in my brain that says I can't pick them, and I think Ole Miss is just banded around the fact that they have to win, and basically slap their ex head coach in the face and make sure that everybody regrets kind of counting them out, because I mean, I think we can all agree that none of us picked Ole Miss to get this far. So I think they're not. But see, they're not. They don't act shocked. They don't act like they shouldn't be here. They play like they're 100% where they should be. And I think Trinidad Chambliss will be the game changer. I have it being close though. I think I said my final score today was like 28-24 Ole Miss. So I think it'll be close. I don't think it'll be a blowout. I think Miami's line of scrimmage play is just too good. But yeah, so I'll take Ole Miss. I'll take Ole Miss by 4. Bo, what's the spread in that game?
3.5. Miami 3.5.
Miami 3.5. Yeah, I'll take Ole Miss, and I'll take Ole Miss. I'll take Ole Miss cover.
All right. So if you're telling me like which quarterback I trust, do I trust Carson Beck to make a play, or do I trust Chambliss to make a play? And if we're going off of that, because quarterbacks are big in these games, I mean, you've seen all these games, quarterbacks have to make plays. Chambliss is going to outplay Beck, obviously. And I think Chambliss is the reason why they win this game. Bo, what you got?
Doesn't it just feel like Ole Miss? I mean, given the set of circumstances, I'm taking my SEC cap off here. I'm just looking at the set of circumstances. You got the whole dynamic with the Lane Kiffin situation. You've got now Ole Miss. I just heard this today. Ole Miss apparently is suing. What? Let me get this right. Or no, LSU is now suing, or going to be suing Ole Miss's coaches for tampering because they're coaching those kids and then trying to get them into the portal after the game to come over to LSU. So, I mean, you got that whole dynamic. You got, again, the Lane Kiffin situation. You got Trinidad Chambliss that just seemingly can't be stopped. And what a story. I mean, just take all that. You've got a Division II quarterback from Ferris State that nobody's ever heard of. And he comes in and, I mean, is just an electric player. He is silky smooth. He is silky smooth. Seemingly makes all the right reads. Just makes plays. Unbelievable. And yes, this is an Ole Miss shirt I'm rocking tonight because I told you guys on the last show that I'm a closet Ole Miss fan. I mean, I'm not like a diehard Ole Miss fan, but I do pull for Ole Miss. And I'm taking Miami to win this game, though. I just think Miami, when it comes down to it, they're far better on the lines of scrimmage. I think they can control the game with their lines of scrimmage. I think they can wear down Ole Miss. I think this could almost be like one of those games. It's a 3-score game. It's a 3-point game, 7-point game in the fourth quarter, and then all of a sudden, bang, bang, Miami rips 2 scores off because Ole Miss is just gassed, and that could be the game. But, and I talked about this a little bit on the last show, Ole Miss's ticket is to do to Miami exactly what they did to Georgia. Make them rush the passer and rush the passer and rush the passer until they can't rush the passer anymore. And then make them have to line up quick and go, and just run them ragged and run them sideline to sideline and go up tempo. And that's the way Ole Miss can win this game. We've seen teams do that before, use that tempo and just grind their opponent down. If Ole Miss uses a regular tempo and they just try to go man up, they're going to get beat. I just think Miami is way too good on the lines of scrimmage. So with all that goodness I just said about Ole Miss, give me Miami, give me the U, and give me Michael Irvin losing his mind on the sideline.
So we're going to have a Michael Irvin taking off his belt again, spanking a water cooler.
Yeah, and there'll also be a little white powder under his nose. I'm not sure what it's going to be, but
fun dip.
Could be.
It'll be fun dip from the concession stand.
Those things were amazing back in the day.
Yeah, they were good. Still good. So I'm going to go. Obviously, I'm going to go with Ole Miss. I'm going to say 21-17 Ole Miss. I'm going to go with the team who's got a chip on their shoulder, something to prove, with the better quarterback. So hopefully Ole Miss wins. If not, I'm not going to lose any sleep. Either team getting it in the championship game, I'm probably going to pull for anyway. So what was that, Bo?
And here's your breaking water point is that if the winning score, if the team that has the winning score is 24 or less, it's Miami all day. I think in order for Ole Miss to win, they're going to have to. It's going to have to be a little bit higher scoring game. That's why I also like that over. I think it's like 52 or something. I really like that over. So Take
All
that
right.
for whatever
Well,
you will.
let's go to the Friday night game. The game we would have physically gone to if Alabama would have showed up last week, but oh well, they didn't. Oregon, Indiana in the Peach Bowl. Coach Bo, what you got?
Just give me the cyborg. Give me Signetti and the boys. I mean, they're just so solid. I don't think look and don't take this as a slight. Take this as the biggest compliment because I think this is one of the biggest compliments that you can have in the ultimate team sport. I don't think there's anything great about Indiana. I think what is great about Indiana, I mean, as far as just their talent or anything like that, everybody talks about that. Who did they play? Their talent, this, that, or the other. But I tell you what is great about Indiana: their execution, their discipline, their focus, their workmanlike attitude. Guys, teams like that are very tough to beat because they show up expecting to win. They kick your ass and then they just leave. And they don't say anything to you because they respect you as an adversary and as an opponent, but they don't give a damn about you or your program. And I love that attitude with Curt Cignetti. You can say whatever you want about Cignetti, and he's on the sidelines and he makes all these funny faces and weird faces, and maybe some of it's playing up to the camera. I don't know. When you play like that and you win like that, you make whatever the hell kind of face you want to make. And as long as Dan Lanning's going to continue to act like he's over there playing PlayStation, no way I'm taking Dan Lanning in a game like this. Give me the solid, more consistent team. Give me the Hoosier. Hoosiers.
All right. I don't know how you follow that, Scott, but go ahead.
I'm taking the Hoosiers too, man. I'm just going to piggyback off what he said. I mean, look, I know what I saw last week. And I saw a team that looked very familiar.
They were even wearing red.
Right. Maybe it wasn't maybe the technical the star ratings might have not been 4 and 5, but they sure as hell played like it. You know, they brought it, and I don't. That's not going anywhere, man. They're taking that in the next week. You talk about somebody playing with a chip on their shoulder. Nobody's giving them any respect. Hell, we didn't. Everybody on this show was all about Bama beating them. I mean, they're having.
Whoa! Hold on. Let's back it up.
Hey, you and I both picked Indiana to win the game, but we both know. We both know. Like, we may have not want to say it out loud, but we both know. We thought maybe there was a chance. And just that alone, which there's nothing wrong with that either. But after seeing what happened, after seeing what happened, I mean, this team looks very familiar. It looked like a team that was playing in Tuscaloosa just a few years ago. You know, not all that long ago. That's
5
what
years
they
ago,
look like.
to be exact. That's when it ended.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Right. 5 years ago. So that's what they look like to me. I'm not picking against these guys. I don't care who they're playing.
Mm-mm.
You know, I'm not. And it's Hoosiers all day long. I mean, we'll see what happens in the finals, but I don't think Lanning has a chance in hell. Don't be surprised if this is a blowout. Don't be surprised. If I had to pick one, this would be it for sure. I don't know. I'm still not sold on Oregon's defense. I know they're probably a little bit better than I've been giving them credit for, but I'm still not 100% sold on that. And Fernando Mendoza is going to go out there and do whatever he wants to do. So I'm highly, highly in favor of the Hoosiers taking this one for sure. I don't think it's going to be close, guys.
All right, Feinbaum, what you got?
So, I think about Oregon. I think high-powered offense. I think defense is okay. It's not going to win them a game, but, you know, defense is solid. It can win. They played each other before, and Dante Moore had some pretty bad turnovers in that game. And, you know, Indiana ended up taking the game in Eugene. And I still firmly believe, though, it is very difficult to beat a team twice in the same season. I'm always going to say that. I don't care if it happens or it doesn't. But not so fast, my friend. I'm taking the team that doesn't make a mistake. I'm taking Indiana. Until I see them jump off sides, I'm going to take Indiana. Until I see them, have some kind of flagrant penalty where Kurt Cignetti's screaming on the sideline because somebody punches a player and it cost them 15 yards and a field goal, I'm picking Indiana. It's just you can't pick against a team that doesn't make any mistakes. And I tell you, I don't care who they play in the championship. I'm going to pick them anyway. I don't care if they play Miami or Ole Miss. The only reason my pick would change is if Oregon somehow beats them. But if it's Indiana, I don't care if it's Indiana versus any of the other 135 teams. I'm taking Indiana. They don't make mistakes. They're solid. Fernando Mendoza knows where to go with the football. Their run game's good. Their line of scrimmage is good. Their defense is solid. Nobody doesn't know where they're supposed to be at any given moment. That's how you play football, guys. That's how you win games. And regardless if it's Kurt Cignetti or his coordinators, Indiana looks like the Alabama from 2009 to 2000 and whenever y'all want to say it ended, 17 or whatever. This is what it looked like. Everybody said when Alabama stepped on the field, they were scared. And now I feel like that's how people are when it comes to Indiana. And that's just the day and age we're in. I never, as long as I'm 26 years old. For the rest of my life, I never thought I'd see Indiana play Alabama and Indiana be favored. Ever. And it's just, I got proven wrong. And look, I had to take that. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm taking Indiana. They make zero mistakes, and they won't start now.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I've always said the exact same thing. It's hard to beat a team twice in 1 year, but this Indiana team's just built different. They're coached different. Cignetti's got to be the best coach in college football right now, without a doubt. And I don't even think there's a close second at
and
this
Chad,
point.
one thing to that point is, I mentioned this on the last show, the age difference. Oregon's a very young team. They're a very young team. Indiana is a very old team. I think about 80% of their starters are a 4th, 5th, or 6th-year player. I think that's something to consider too.
And that makes a difference. So I'm going to do, since this isn't Alabama, I'll do a score. I say Oregon does slightly better scoring, but I think Indiana goes in there and just beats them like a drum, maybe something like 41-10. And the only reason that game was close the first time is because it was in Oregon. If that game would have been in Bloomington, Oregon would have got skull drug like they're about to Friday night. So, all right, well, let's move on to the transfer portal. And it has opened up, and I hate that it's going on during the playoffs, during bowl season. Something's got to change. I've had this rant before, and I feel like one's about to come out again. But let's do this. We'll start with Alabama. Alabama getting a few commitments that they so desperately needed. We got a linebacker, Caleb Whitson from Virginia Tech. I'll just read off the commits we got, then we'll discuss them a little bit, or we can go in a different direction. Devin Tompkins, defensive lineman from Southern Cal. Caden Strayhorn, offensive guard from Michigan. Hollywood Smothers, probably one of the more exciting ones that we got, running back from NC State. Josh Ford, a blocking tight end from Oklahoma State. And I saw I don't know, it seems like I seen this today, but it was a Dakota Fields, a cornerback from Oregon, that I saw today. Don't know too much about that one, but Scott, what you got on this?
I am pretty excited so far. I hate we lost some of the guys that we lost, but I understand. Losing Quay was my biggest concern, but I believe with him it was more, he wanted money and we just weren't willing to give him. I don't know if y'all saw Clinton Dix's post. I think
he's 100% right.
He is,
right,
1,000%.
exactly. So I that was telling when that came out. I think that kind of told us what was going on and why there were certain players.
Scott, can you paraphrase what he said? In case
something along the lines of, oh God, help me out here, guys.
It was just a tweet because people were commenting on the people that have left and saying Kalen DeBoer's losing his edge and we're losing a bunch of people that had great solid production. And he sent out a tweet and he said, "I'm in the office every day. I'm the one that's over player production, and then nobody left that has put forth the effort that we needed."
Right. It was about the product, right? And
the product matching the results weren't matching the dollars.
There you
And
go.
it was something to the effect of what talent it was something along the lines of what talent watched the film.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
right.
something that harsh. And I mean he had 2 sacks in 21 games.
Yeah.
You can have you can have 40 stars by your name. If you're not producing, get out.
Right. And the thing is what he's asking for money. So It's like, or more than he's already getting. So that's what this comes down to. Like, you want more money, but look at the numbers, man. Like, we love you. We don't want you to leave, but we're not going to give you that for what we've gotten. It's got to add up, Something else, too, I was thinking about, too, is like, when this kind of stuff happens in the NFL, we know about it. We know what the player's asking for. We know the entire realm of the situation. This, we don't know anything. We don't know what he's asking for. We don't know what his number is. We have no idea. We'll never know. But we do know he was asking for more, and we pretty much told him to kick rocks. We're not doing that. And I respect the hell out of that. So, of course I hated to see Quay leave. I did. As I said, he's probably the one that I scratched my head on. But after the Ha Ha Clinton Dix post, I said, okay, now I get it. Now I know what this is about.
Yeah, I mean, he's a Montgomery kid, went to Carver.
Yeah. So, hey, this is the world we live in college football now. I'm kind of enjoying it. I hate what it's doing, but I do like the drama. I like drama. I like to watch it, But with the players that we have, son, I'm excited about. Smothers was huge. Now we got 2 Hollywoods, I like some of these guys we're bringing on, where it looks like we're getting some O-line depth. Line of scrimmage is looking pretty good right now. I hope we continue to go that way. We'll talk about the coaching in a minute, because I want to bring that up, because it looks like this O-line coach isn't going anywhere. Just saying.
He was going somewhere. They'd already cut him before they started getting players.
Listen, guys, I've never said this on this show, but I'm going to say it right now. I don't see Kalen firing anybody he brought in. He's too loyal. And I do think that will be his downfall at Bama in the end. I hope it's not true. I hope what I said is not true. But that's the perception, and that's what I see. I don't see him firing anybody he brought in. He's too loyal. He is a loyal guy. And I'm telling you right now, if our O-line isn't drastically improved at this time next year, I don't know if Kalen's going to be here. I don't. That O-line was, in my opinion, that O-line was probably the worst part of our entire offseason. Would y'all agree?
It's a no-brainer.
Yeah. I mean, it all started. All the madness began at the offensive line. And that's where it ended. And if that's not drastically fixed in the offseason, and we come out next year and it's not any better, I mean, good Lord, dude, what are we in for? And it's like, we've all praised the job that our team did. Our school had, the season that we had with only the losses that we had. It's not like we're better than 98% of college football teams. And we're over here crapping the bed on our team about how things are all, oh my God, doom and gloom. Bro, we made it to the playoffs. We got to the second round. It's not all bad. But when you're looking at things that are so obvious, like the O-line, and again, we're talking about the portal. We're bringing guys in. Things are looking good. But with me, and I've been saying this for half the season, the coaching staff is who I'm looking at here. If they can come in, if these new guys can come in that we're getting over here, and they can groom them and they can make them what we need them to be, then great. That's what we want. That's awesome. But I have yet to see any development happen with some of these guys, and that's what scares the hell out of me. So come on, bring them on in. Transfer portal's looking good so far. I can't wait to see where this goes from here. But I'm kind of gritting my teeth here with the coaching. With that O-line coach, I was really hoping he would have already seen his way out the door. So that's kind of where I'm at. We'll see what happens, though.
Yeah. All right. But before we get to you, Bo and Brant, let me go over this real quick. Leaving, we already said Quay Russell, Keon Keeley. Mbakwe, he went to Georgia Tech. Not only is he not playing receiver there, he's going back to his old position, which I don't know, makes no sense to me, but whatever. And Formby is going to ATM. Go mess up their offensive line. That's fine. All right, as far as some of the other guys, Brailsford, Parker, Simpson, all entering the draft. And it was announced that, as much as I hate to say this for college, Alabama re-signed Michael Carroll, offensive line, and Lotzir Brooks, wide receiver, probably the best wide receiver we had last year. Bo, what you got?
It was very obvious that the coaching staff knew what the problems were weeks ago. Because this was very under the radar, and I don't even think anybody even remembers this happening. So when the Magic Mullet, a.k.a. Mike Gundy, the man, he's 40, he's a man. When he got fired from Oklahoma State, players could start leaving. And the first thing Alabama did, like within just 2 or 3 days, they went and got that, was it Josh Ford, that blocking tight end. Then their first signee in the portal, I believe, was Smothers. Then they signed that interior lineman from Michigan, who was the one I was talking about on the last show. He was a teammate of Michael Carroll's at IMG. Okay, they've got four. Yeah, Strayhand or Stray what?
Caden Strayhorn.
Strayhorn. I'm sorry. They've got 4 big offensive tackles coming in. The one from North Carolina, Tennessee, Mississippi State, and there was a 4th one. I forget the other one. That's all well and good. You are clearly addressing the issues with personnel. However,
Texas State was one.
Brock Texas
Reichers,
State.
He was a guard.
He's a center, and we need a center, and maybe him and the kid from Michigan both can play guard / center. But we got that JUCO kid coming in, so you would think with him being a little older and having experience, he may be able to come in and play right away. But the one thing I will say, you're getting the personnel, but do you have the mindset to run the football? Running the football is not just something that you conveniently want to do to say you do it. It's got to be a priority. Because when the line works and the run game works, everything else works. And I'll keep going back to it. Go watch that 23 Washington team. Go watch them against Michigan. They're man-on blocking concepts, inside zone, crack toss. They ran power football and ran it right at Michigan. Now, if they're willing to make that kind of commitment and they're willing to run the ball like that, Alabama will be fine. We'll be right back in the same position we were this year. 10, 11 wins with a chance, maybe to play for the SEC again, chance to make the playoffs. If they're getting all this personnel and say, hey, we're addressing it with the personnel and we're running the ball 12 times a game, that ain't going to fix it. However, if we're running the ball 12 to 15 times a game, which is not nearly enough, but if we're running the ball 12 to 15 times a game and we're averaging over 5 yards a carry, that's a difference. But that's a stretch, guys. That's still not enough. To run the football, it's got to be a mindset and it's got to be a commitment. And if you're not willing to do it, you can have all the personnel in the world you want. Your offense is still going to be crowbar to the spokes. You're going to run into that defense with that good defensive line, and they're not going to budge, and they're going to shut you down. That's exactly what happened against Indiana. And I don't even think, some people are like, Alabama's terrible. They're terrible. Football is about creating styles. Styles create fights and matchups. That's what football's all about. And then sometimes you run into those teams, they're your perfect kryptonite, and they just kick your ass. And then sometimes you run up against teams where you're their perfect kryptonite, and you kick their ass. And that's how it goes. It was a very bitter pill to swallow at the end of the season. It was a hell of a way to go out. Now, if we'd have lost that game 28-10, and it didn't look like that, maybe all these changes wouldn't be happening. Maybe Clinton Dix doesn't put people on notice and say, guys, y'all ain't getting it done. We got to go another route. People, calm down. This is all a part of the plan. That we just keep glossing it over and glossing it over. Just like we glossed it over in 21 when we had all the false starts and losing on the road at winless Texas A&M and giving up over 50 points at Tennessee and not being able to get stops and not being able to play football like we had been used to seeing, and we just glossed it over, and then Bryce gets sacked 40 times, and you could see it starting to happen. And again, Indiana was rock bottom. And maybe that's exactly what we need to say, hey, what you were doing has run its course. You got to take another route. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. But the end result, there's going to be change one way or another. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and then Brandon, I'll get to you in just a second. The other offensive lineman that we're looking at, Jimothy Lewis, offensive tackle for Mississippi State. He's a big one. He's either visited or is going to visit. Jacarius Peak, left tackle from North Carolina State, teammate of Hollywood. I think we have a real good shot with him. And then we also mentioned Brock Riker, the center guard from Texas State. The only other ones, maybe Cam Coleman, maybe Jordan Ross, the edge rusher from Tennessee. All right. Now that we got all that out the way, Brant Feinbaum, what you got?
I'll be quick. As far as Alabama's transfer portal class goes, I'm pretty excited so far. I think we picked up some key pieces that we needed. And I'm glad, and I completely agree with Bo where I say that the head coaching staff or the coaching staff is realizing, some of the problems, some of the things that we needed to fix. And my thing is, and I completely agree with you, Scott, that loyalty, as great as loyalty can be, can also be your downfall. I agree 1,000%. But I think that's what makes Kalen DeBoer, is I think he plays into the loyalty thing. I think he plays into, so my first year I had Nick Sheridan as an OC. We all complained about Nick Sheridan. Nick Sheridan gets put down back to the tight end coach, and Ryan Grubb comes in, and we loved Ryan Grubb weeks 2 through 7. And then all of a sudden now we couldn't stand him at the end of the year. And I completely agree with Bo. I think when it came time for the playoff, I think that Kurt Signetti and Indiana's defense did a really good job of watching film, figuring out what they needed to do to stop us, and they exploited us. It's the same thing their offense did. We blitzed the whole first drive. We got 2 sacks on Mendoza. He looked completely uncomfortable. He got up after the second one like he just got hit by a car. He said, oh my goodness, I'm getting run through in the first drive of the game. So we blitz again. I can't remember drive 2 or 3. We blitz again. We ended up messing up. Nobody got there. We all got bodied. Fernando Mendoza throws a 30-yard pass and then backs off. We play zone the whole rest of the game, and all Fernando Mendoza does, you don't even have to be as good as him to do this. Hut, 5-yard curl, bam, right? That's all he did was take his 5 yards, his 6 yards, his 7 yards, and then all he did after that, when we started biting on him, was cutting post routes over the middle and scoring touchdowns. I'm so glad that our coaches, I believe, watched that game and said, wow, this is what has to be done, and this is what we need to do to fix this. Because believe it or not, everybody wants to talk about Kalen, over the season. They're like, oh, Penn State job's open. Kalen might take it. Oh, Michigan job's open. Kalen might take it. I think Kalen wants to be here. I think he wants to be at Alabama. I think he knows the opportunity that this is. Because, he wins 1 national championship in his first 3 years. He's gonna be loved. He's gonna be very open-armed. I can tell you that. But when it comes to portal classes, you got to focus on the things that we were getting beat on. If our O-line is getting tossed around game after game, you got to go get some good O-linemen, man, and I think that's what they're doing. And I'm very happy to see that. I'm happy to see the fact that we're taking chances because most schools with the logo and the money that Alabama has, they wouldn't even look twice at a guy from Texas State. We'll go get that guy from Alabama that's transferring. We don't care about the Texas State guy. I think this is all warranted. I think Kalen's trying to get guys that are hungry, that want to prove themselves, that want to play the game of football the right way. And I think the portal, as much as I hate it, I completely agree it sucks. But I think he's using it the right way right now. And I just pray and I hope that he keeps that up and he keeps doing what we're supposed to be doing. And I hope we get Cam Coleman. I really do. I think he's a freak. I think he is as dangerous as can be as a wide receiver 1. But then again, man, until I see some solid, defensive players coming in, because we lost a lot of D linemen and we lost some linebackers. We need some studs coming on that defense. And not to mention, obviously, the draft's going to, like it does every year, it's going to riddle us with holes. So hopefully we can fill those holes correctly, man. And just hopefully with portal class coming in, we get a couple more key grabs and we'll start to tear it up next year. Man, I'm very excited about Hollywood Smothers. I mean, I watched that guy's highlights today. I don't care if he's running for NC State. I don't care if he's running for Boston College. That guy is good, and he's a hole finder, and that's what I like in a running back. He reminds me just like Jahmyr Gibbs, man. Just somebody who can feel, hole, boom, explode. And that's what I think. That's what you need, especially because if your O-line's not playing well, I mean, if you got a bad O-line and you're getting ransacked all game, you're going to have to find a guy that can make something happen. And as good as Daniel Hill is, I mean, Daniel Hill he's a power back. You know, he's not going to get out into space, make 3 moves, and 90 mile per hour to the end zone guy. He's just not going to be that. But I think they would make a really, really good duo in our backfield to put him and Daniel Hill back there, especially because they're both good receiving backs as well. They both got good hands. So I think that there'll be some good weapons. But yeah, I give it a B plus right now. There's obviously room for improvement, but there's always you're always going to find hidden gems, and I think that's what Kalen DeBoer's looking for right now.
Yeah, and my last question you answered, so I'll go to the other two. And it was on Cam Coleman. Scott, do you think we get Cam Coleman?
Yeah, I mean, he'd be nice to have. I'm not saying no. But I just felt like we've got more important needs. And we're taking care of that. Like I said, we're handling our line of scrimmage. I just don't want to overpay for a guy when you've got a guy like Brooks sitting there waiting to go. I think Brooks is going to have a heck of a year next year. I look at Brooks like people were looking at Ryan Williams last year. I think Brooks is the next big thing, and let him be it. I'm more excited about him. If we get Cam, great. I'm not going to be upset about it. Of course not. I'd love to have him on the team, especially going up against Auburn at the end of the year. Boy, that'd be fun to watch. But and if we get him. If we don't, we don't. I think he's going to end up in Texas somewhere. Way too much money floating around over there. So I wouldn't be surprised at all if he ended up in Texas somewhere, one of the Texas schools, but we'll see.
All right, Bo, what's your thoughts on Cam Coleman?
My first thought is just what a time we live in where we're actively talking about Auburn players coming to Bama. I mean, it just something that 10, 15 years ago, totally unthinkable. Like, you can't go play for those guys. It don't matter what, you can't go play for them. Now, there's no loyalty. There's no, all it is, I mean, it's the Wild Wild West. Everything's wide open. Every door's wide open. All the poaching, all the illegal stuff that goes on. And the interesting thing about, and I'm going to rant on this for just a second, the interesting thing about the portal is everybody said, okay, well, we need to have NIL and transfer because the SEC is dominating and has all the talent. Well, this is what I think has happened. If you look at the portal, the SEC has been solely focused on recruiting, and I think now they're starting to figure out a lot of these teams. You better work the portal. You better go get guys in the portal because if you're not, you're getting left behind. There are quality players there that are not just there for a check. They're there to maybe they want to play at a better organization. Maybe they do truly want to go win a championship. They put it all on the line at Iowa State. I mean, it's funny how like about 20 players from Iowa State are now going to Penn State. I mean, I'm not accusing anybody of anything, but it's funny how all that worked out, that Matt Campbell leaves Iowa State and all those players just come over instantly. But, they're going to now go play at a program where making the playoffs is a far more attainable goal than at Iowa State. Yeah, they probably will get paid a little bit more money because they're at a bigger program that's got more dollars. But if you're not working the portal, all you need to do is go and hire somebody from Lane Kiffin's staff, like the Moneyball theory. Go hire somebody from Lane Kiffin's staff. Go hire somebody from Kurt Signetti's staff and say, run our portal. And whatever they're doing is what you need to do, because Lane is to the SEC what Kurt Signetti is to the Big Ten. and what Lane is going to do at the class that he's lining up at LSU, I am telling you, they can win a national championship next year. Just looking at the play, they got Eugene Wilson today, that big stud receiver from Florida. They got another receiver coming in from Hawaii. Yeah, Hawaii. That Hawaii, super productive kid. All he's got to do, he's got to get his quarterback, and there's a whole big shebang-a-bang going on with now all of a sudden that Damon Williams. And if you guys aren't familiar with this, just keep your eye on that Damon Williams Washington situation, because that thing's going to end up going to court if he ends up leaving and going to LSU. And of course, because it's Lane Kiffin, there's tampering, there's all kind of illegal stuff going on. But don't tell me for one second that when Jed Fish left Washington that he didn't try to poach Noah Fafita, and he didn't try to talk to him when he was in that building to try to bring him to Washington from Arizona. Guys, it's happening everywhere. And I would say the cheating and all of that is a million times worse than it's ever been. So it's like one of those things where you point the finger and you got three fingers pointing right back at you. Just stop it. Until there are actually rules put in place. I mean, like, who cares? Do whatever you want to do. This is what everybody wanted. So let's just make it as bad and as vile as possible. Just rules be damned. Do anything you want.
Wow, and I kind of feel bad for going back to one of your points about because this one point was probably about 10 minutes ago, but I'm going to go back to it anyway. You said that what a time we live in where Alabama wants Auburn players, and 15 years ago it would have been heard of. Well, yeah. I know three of us remember when Bill Oliver went to go coach Auburn back in the mid-'90s.
Ooh,
that was sacrilegious.
People were pissed. I remember that as a kid, man. That was a big thing. That was a no-no. You didn't do that. Go coach in Antarctica. Don't go to Auburn.
Yeah, that was a big to do back in the 90s. And if any of y'all are too young, Brant, to don't remember that, go look it up. All right, well, let's get to Bo's Division II teaser that we had at the beginning of the show. Bo, what you got?
Okay, so I don't know if you guys watched this game, but it was the Illinois State Redbirds against the Montana State Bobcats, and what a game! No, not Vermont. No, not Vermont. It was Montana State. Okay, Phenomenal game. Okay, it was a phenomenal game. I'm going to basically read you the box score. Let's see, Illinois State, 39 minutes and 30 seconds of time of possession, and 220 for Montana State. 33 first downs for Illinois State, 20 for Montana State. 7 of 14 on third downs for Illinois State, 3 of 9 for Montana State, and then 2 of 2 on fourth down for Illinois State, 1 of 1 for Montana State. 471 total yards for Illinois State, 381 for Montana State. Illinois State, 5 penalties, 55 yards. Montana State, 14 penalties, 93 yards.
And Montana State won, right?
And Montana State won. Illinois State won every stat category by a lot. But they were up by 2 scores with 6 minutes to go. Montana State comes roaring back, ties the game up. Illinois State gets the ball back. And that quarterback, I forget his name offhand, but he can spin it. That dude can go. He'll have a chance to play somewhere. He'll get a look somewhere. He takes him back down the field, and they're going to kick the game-winning field goal, and it gets blocked. So then they go to overtime. Montana State gets the ball first, boom, punches it in. Illinois State comes back, gets the ball, boom, punches it in, blocks the extra point, ball game. I mean, it was incredible. I mean, it was the last 10 minutes of that game. I mean, they just went back and forth and back and forth. It was a great ball game. So even when you see the FCS play the Division II, when they get down to those final 10 teams, 12 teams, that's some really good football. Those are some good quality teams when they're matched up with each other like that, and especially the way they run their playoffs. So good football was a good game, especially for a Monday night. Had the multi-box going on with some college basketball, and I was like, man, That was a heck of a guy. I mean, they just kept trading blows and trading blows. And remember we talked about Illinois State a couple weeks ago, and then knocking off the North Dakota State Bison and dethroning, basically putting that dynasty to an official end. And guys, do any of y'all remember the head coach that really got them going and got them winning big? Talking about North Dakota State.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't remember. I know Wentz was there. Carson Wentz.
Wentz was there, and so was Trey Lance.
Trey Lance. Yeah, Trey Lance right behind him. Yeah.
And then Easton Stick. I think he had a cup of coffee in the big time, but they had multiple quarterbacks that played pro football. Anyway, Craig Bowl. Craig Bowl went on to coach at Wyoming and had some good years. Coach Josh Allen. That guy put about coaching at, I think it's North Dakota State and Wyoming. He put like 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Unreal.
Wow. Yeah.
Unreal. Guy had an eye for talent. He could spot talent at the quarterback position. But anyway, just wanted to share that with you. Just a good football note.
So you're saying those final teams in the Division II playoffs are like the cream of the crop?
They're the cream of the crop of the FCS, and it's the same teams every. It's the same teams every year. They have really solid programs. Villanova was really good this year. Tarleton State had a good year. By the way, Tarleton State's in Texas, and I want to say it was them. Like their entire roster was nothing but Texas football players, and I want to say I can't remember if they won a game or not, but they had a solid season. Illinois State's good. North Dakota State's good. Montana's good. Montana State's good. They're always traditionally really good football teams. So and every once in a while those teams will sneak up and they'll beat somebody, whether it be from the Mountain West or a Big 12 team. I mean, there was a stretch where North Dakota State they won when Bowl was there. They won like 5 or 6 consecutive games against Big 12 opponents.
Championships.
Yeah, well, against Big 12 opponents, and I think they beat Iowa once. Not slandering Iowa because I love Kirk Ferentz, but no, they were really solid. But you could really see the trickle down effect. Even though those programs are solid, those games like that where those FCS teams are beating those Division I teams, I think that ship has sailed because there's just such a gap now. I mean, there's such a gap. I mean, if you look at the Big Ten, you got 3 elite teams, 4 or 5 good teams, 10 bad teams. The SEC is more spread out, but right now there's no elite teams because they're still using the old recruiting model and not using the portal as much. But I'm telling you, Lane is going to change that for the entire conference. So he's going to be numero uno, villain number 1 in the conference for the remainder of the time because all the stuff he pulled and the way he's using the portal and all the stuff he's doing. And then you see it in the ACC. There's 4 or 5 good teams at the top, and then falls off a cliff. You're seeing gaps get bigger and bigger and bigger in these conferences. So, the talent is getting more spread out, but it's getting spread out to a few teams, not to everybody. Everybody who's paying to play, that's who's getting the talent.
Yeah. And I guess that'll be it for us. But I'm going to have I can't stand it, and I'm going to echo an I can't stand it that I've had probably twice, and I think we need to try to make all these games in December, and then you can have your transfer portal after the season. I mean, wasn't it Dan Lanning who had that at a press conference saying we should be playing every weekend in December, championship games on the 1st, and then after that you can get your transfers and coaching changes. I probably added the coaching changes stuff. Coaching changes should not take place how they did. That's another rant. But, I think most of us really don't like the way Lanning coaches, but I like the way he thinks.
Yeah.
And trying to preserve the season and the integrity of college football, because the integrity of college football has gone to absolute shit the past couple of years.
The calendar's the calendar, it's like they took the common sense things they can do, and they just say, "Oh hell no, we're not doing that. We're going to try this over here. Watch this. Watch how bad we screw this up." I mean, it's
Right.
completely unreal. Or heck, I would even say, like you, Chad, take the conference games out. Take the conference championship games out. Let that first week of December, Army, Navy, everybody gets a bye. You start playing playoffs that next week. January 1st, there's your New Year's Day. There's your championship, or at least
Right.
that in that weekend, that time frame right there. It may not always be on the first. It may be on the third, the fourth, but it's somewhere in that because you're playing consecutive weeks. And then you can play those games on Saturdays. You can play your bowl games during the week. So we have a solid month of college football. It would work out. And then if the championship game is on the first, on the second the portal opens, and the portal's open for 10 days, 12 days, 14 days, whatever. And then that's it. It's so easy. It's really that easy, guys, but nobody wants to do it.
Scott, you got anything on this?
I got it and I can't stand it. I can't
Go
stand
ahead.
it that the NFL, the college playoff will not compete with the NFL on Saturdays. Damn it. College football is Saturday, right? But we're playing our playoff games on Thursday and Friday, right? Because the NFL playoffs have started and they own Saturday and Sunday now. No. Saturday belongs to college football. These playoff games need to happen on Saturday. Stop it. You can work something out with the NFL on Saturday. You can work something out with them. How many times have we watched a noon Saturday kickoff on a playoff game in the NFL? We've been doing it for years. Do it. And have the prime time set up for college football because Saturday belongs to college football. That shouldn't change in January. I like what y'all said about doing this in December. It just makes all the sense in the world. Of course, you get rid of your conference. I love that. That was a great idea. But have your and like again, Bo just said this. Have your playoff games on Saturday, and then you can have all your bogus bowl games during the week.
Monday through Friday.
Yeah. And then, but have your Saturdays belong to college football. College football belongs on Saturday. Okay? Look, I love the NFL, and I'm an NFL guy. Great. But guess what? You have Sunday. Take it. You got all day long on Sunday.
Or they also have Monday night because they show
Right.
multiple Monday night games at a time.
Exactly. And, and they do it all.
2 or 3 on a Monday night.
And you've got Thursday night too, but guess what? Now college is doing Thursday because you don't want to be there. You want their Saturday. So it's like you swapped out your Saturday for Thursday. No, thank you. Saturday is college football. Period. So yeah, that's I got a problem with that. They need to fix that.
I can't stand it.
Can't stand it.
All right, Fine Bomb, you're up.
All right, mine's real short and sweet. Okay. I can't stand the SEC in bowl games. Okay. Because they have made me look like an idiot for the last 10 years. Because I fill out, I get hand delivered a nice bowl game sheet, right? And I pick it and I throw $20 in a pot. Whoever does the best gets the money. Okay. Well, every time when I see Tennessee playing Wake Forest, I'm going, oh, God, Tennessee gave us a run for our money, right? Yeah, Wake Forest, come on. And I mark down Tennessee. And then you lose, okay? You make me look like a dumbass. All right, that is I can't stand that, okay? There's no way Tennessee should be losing to Illinois. That shouldn't happen, okay? That should never exist. I don't know why that happens, but y'all have cost me more money than I can count. So from now on, when I fill out a bowl sheet, every time I see the SEC come up, I'm picking the other team every single time, and they make me look so stupid because all us SEC people know that we want to go, oh, it's the SEC. We don't care about simple bowl games. Okay, we care about championships, right? Well, that argument would work if every time we went to the bowl games, we won outright and just looked like we didn't care. But no. We lose. Okay? I don't know if y'all watched the LSU game, but that was one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen. I mean, regardless of that LSU had an up and down year, regardless they're inconsistent, you're LSU. I mean, play like LSU plays. I mean, it looked like they didn't want to be there. I can say the same thing about Alabama, except Alabama played the number 1 team in the country. So it's a little different. But that's I can't stand it.
Well, Brant, you didn't obviously listen to Bo's bowl rules. That's your own fault. Number
Never
one,
for the
number
SEC.
one, never go against the service academies. Number two, always look at underdogs first. Right then and there. And number three, always check the rosters. I mean, LSU had they had between opt-outs, transfers, and injuries, they had somewhere between 15 and 20 players that didn't play. Tennessee the same way. They had about 15. That big tackle that Bam was looking at, he didn't play. That edge didn't play. That safety didn't play. That stud inside linebacker didn't play. A defensive tackle didn't play. That end didn't play. I mean, you got to look at those things, and nobody has the depth to just replace those. I mean, nobody does. I mean, if it were the other way around, and I mean, because I think Illinois had 4 players sit out. So I mean, you got to look at who's sitting and who didn't. Now, the one that was embarrassing, I would say, would be for Michigan because they lost to Texas's backups. I mean, Texas had like 25 players that sat out in that game. I mean, they played almost nothing. It was like Arch Manning and backups, and they still rang Michigan up. But I mean, that's what I'm saying. In bowl games, you got to really look because, man, now you don't know who's playing. I mean, Clemson had 30 players sit out against Penn State. 30. Oh, yeah, I bet the crap out of that game. I mean, once I saw that, I was like, there is no – I mean, Clemson was a 7-5 team to begin with, and now their top 30 players are sitting out of the game. No, not happening. And even at that, it was still like a 7-point game with about 8 minutes to go. And Penn State scored late, but bowl games, man, it's just you don't ever know who's going to play, who's not going to play.
Are you saying, Bo, that bowl games don't matter? Is that what you're saying?
Oh, no. Bowl games do matter, but they matter in a different way now. I talked about this. I'll make this short, but I think they matter more now for the coaches to be able to get younger players in and to get those extra practices and to see who they want to pay and who they want to keep around and who they want to get rid of. But as far as the games themselves, I mean, I don't know. You can take them or leave them. I mean, it just, ever since the playoff expanded, I mean, there's obviously far more interest in that. And I'm not going to sit here and say that games don't matter because they do. They matter to those kids playing. But it's like if you got your top 15 players sitting out of the game, it's kind of hard to make up for that. I mean, you just can't go find like 9 players that are going to get that have an NFL draft grade on the way to the stadium and just put them in the game. So, I'm not one of those guys. Games don't matter. They all matter. I think they matter more now in a different way because now you can get the early enrollees in, like Jet Tamala. He practiced. Cedarian Morgan, that big stud receiver for Bama, the only receiver that Bama signed in this class, he got to practice. So it matters for those extra 10 practices. And guys can practice differently now because they're going to take on different roles. Who cares if you lose? It's a bowl game. So you can actually see the players in game reps in a low leverage situation. And you can see how they can handle it. And I think it's another way. It's like I talked about it on the last show. It's like preseason football. It's a way to kind of gauge your roster and maybe some of your second tier guys. But no, they matter. I think they matter more now in a different way, as opposed to 10, 15 years ago.
All right.
Again, I do everything through it.
Well, maybe not.
So. Sorry, Chad.
Are we done?
We are.
All right. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
Peace.
All right, Mob. All right, look, I have a question for the Mob. Where do you think Cam Coleman ends up if he ain't already committed now? I haven't got any updates on my phone.
I've been checking
Mob,
it.
in the comments, Mob, put where you think Cam Coleman will end up next year, who he will be playing for. Also, hit that subscribe button. We need more subscribers. I think we're all desperate for more subscribers. Don't make me beg no more.
Hey, also,
the boss is making me say this.
Hey, also too, Mob. One thing for me, I want you guys to do in the comments, put one player that you would love to see Alabama go get, regardless of position. If you're a big Bama fan and you want to see Bama go after somebody, even if you're not a Bama fan, if you're just a fan of another team, who would you most like your team to go get right now? Money's no object. Any player in the portal or not in the portal that you can go tamper with and just get anyway. So, whatever.
All right, Mob. Well, that'll do it for this edition of the Cream of the Crop 4th and 31 podcast. For Feinbaum, for the producer, for Coach Bo, I am the Chad Bullock. We will see you next time.